Hello, 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 and thank you for joining me for another Wow moment. This is David, and today in the Wow I'm going to be continuing on in the Dreams and Visions series. This is part 10. I have been away for a while, for a couple of weeks now, and now I'm back. Thank you guys for tuning in for the Wow. And I will be sharing with you guys what the Lord has been showing me recently since I have been away the last couple of weeks. He's been showing me some interesting dreams and visions just this week. I've been having quite a few of them. Actually, I've been having a lot of them, but I haven't really been having the chance to really see what he's been trying to show me. It's all been kind of a blur. I just got back on my no meat fast, basically, which I began yesterday. And now I'm just feeling the Lord more down in my spirit and stuff, and I'm, just having an understanding of what he's trying to show me. So now that the dreams that he has been showing me lately has been more accurate, has been more clear for me to see, and I'm just going to just be sharing with you people what what I've seen, sorry. Now before I begin, let's pray. Father Yahweh, thank you for having me here yet again another day. Thank you for the viewers who are watching, and hopefully what I share with them can help them with their walk to get closer to you. And in the Father and Yahweh, and the Son Yahweh Shai, amen. Okay, so yeah, I haven't been doing any WoW videos the last couple of weeks. My mind has just been focusing on a couple of other things, but I have been making some posts, and I have been keeping in touch with some of my WoW viewers and some of my WoW subscribers out there, if you've been tuning in, basically. So yeah, the Lord is He's been showing me quite a few dreams and quite a few visions that have been very interesting. I will start from the very beginning to where I can mostly remember. The Lord was showing me, He's always showing me like dreams about New Jersey and stuff like that, where I'm originally from, and it's always something hectic going on over there. It's always something crazy that's happening over there. I had a dream that I was there once again. This was like a week ago or so. I was walking up the hill, basically. We say the hill because where I used to stay, my grandmother used to stay, you have to go up this hill just to get to the house, or houses, whatever. I didn't have a vehicle, and I was just walking up the hill. And this dream, it was really interesting because it's similar to a dream that I had some months ago, basically. About a week ago, back in February, during the middle of February, my grandfather had passed away, and I was making plans to go see him. If you guys haven't tuned in for my previous WoW videos about the dreams and visions, I had spoken about me basically being attacked by these hellhound dogs and how I escaped. This time it was a little different, and this time I didn't have a bike. I was just walking up the hill, basically trying to get back to my grandmother's house. Now, previously, if you watch my Dreams and Visions Part 9, I had spoken about that there was someone that passed away, and that there was a funeral happening at my grandmother's house, and I was there, and I could see it, and I was walking away, and I left down the hill, and and I entered into this small city where I boarded this yacht, basically, and I had gotten on and I had left. For some reason, I am back, and I'm heading back in the same direction I had left. And everything just seems so clear. Everything just seems so interesting because it looks just exactly the same way I remembered seeing it when I was up there about 5 months ago, technically. So, as I was walking, this van had pulled up, basically, and it was some women and these young-looking people, and from what I remember, I believe that I was captured into the van, and I was taken to this house, basically, and these people, that they were like screaming and shouting at me, saying all kinds of things I don't really remember, but it wasn't really as clear to me. And then I remember there was a couple of these guys who came out of this room, and they just started attacking me, basically, like they were trying to do physical harm to me. And for some reason, in the dream I was having, I winded up, beating the guys up, and I winded up escaping So their attempt to attack me, I wound up defending myself, and I won the fight, and I escaped from that house where I was being taken to, and I had ran, and I was making my way back up the hill. So this is really an interesting dream, and it just shows you that it's just really amazing what the Lord tries to show you when you go down the hill because you're scared, or when you're trying to run away from something and you're trying to make your way back up, and demons who appear to you in physical form as humans, they try to attack you once again. This time it wasn't hellhounds, this time it was actual demons appearing to me as people trying to attack me as I was making my way back up the hill. For whatever reasons the Lord was trying to show me, basically. Now, I'm not sure, because the funeral that was supposed to be happening, where my grandmother say across the street, this is where I could see that, the house was pretty much closed down and locked up. It looked like more of like a crime scene in one sense from what I was seeing. And I used to know, I actually used to know those neighbors across the street. I used to go over there. I used to hang out with the children. We used to swim in the pool and stuff, and used to have fun. I don't really remember exactly who was the host, not the host, I'm sorry, who was the head of household there, but I do remember going over there, hanging out with the children and going swimming with the children. So I don't know if the Lord was showing me that someone has passed away recently, or someone is going to be passed away, or if there's going to be a murder or something like that. I'm not sure. But it's something the Lord is trying to show me that's in New Jersey, and I can't really make it out. And basically, Satan and his demons are appearing to me in my dreams, and they're trying to keep me from what the Lord is trying to show me. It's just amazing. Another dream I have had was that I was planning on going to the Nicki Minaj concert, which I did, and it was a good concert. But just a few days ago, I had a dream that I was in the stadium, and Nicki Minaj was basically, she was performing. It was kind of like a basketball stadium. A basketball stadium from what it had looked like, and she was just performing, and I was on the high rise. I was all the way at the top, and as I said, Nicki Minaj was performing, and I was there. And it's amazing because the Lord was showing me this a few days ago before I was going to see the concert. So what happened was, for some reason, I got out of my seat and I started to kind of run down towards where Nicki Minaj was, and it was like a long run. Like, I was nowhere near she was. I don't understand why I was running. And then I noticed that these security guards just basically saw me, and they just started chasing me all the way back up to where I was, back to my seat. They were trying to keep me from reaching Nicki Minaj for some reason. So I didn't understand what that dream was about. I don't know if the Lord was trying to show me that I needed to go see her or try to reach out to her, but it was just really weird while I was being chased up. Because usually, chased up the stairs, because usually when you're it's okay for you to walk around. Like, I understand that you can only go into certain sections if you have a ticket, and security guards can tell you that you can't come past this way because you don't have a ticket, but I don't remember any form of security guards that'll chase you back up to your seat, so that was weird. And then later in that vision, I was back in my seat just watching the concert, and then all of a sudden Chris Brown appeared. He appeared onto the steps, and he was, moving down the steps, dancing basically, and he had an outfit similar to what he wore to the BET Awards back in 2009 when Michael Jackson had passed away. If it was a BET Awards, I don't know, but he did some sort of tribute to where he was wearing Michael Jackson's Thriller jacket, and he was doing the Thriller moves like Michael Jackson. And I'm another person who's a big fan of Chris Brown, and he's a really great dancer. So what happened was, when he was coming down the steps, he was wearing the outfit that he had worn through the Thriller to the Michael Jackson tribute, and he was doing the Thriller dance, and he was making his way down the steps. He was by himself. And, since I like him so much, I was the only one, for some reason, who had happened to get out of my seat again to go over to him. Other people were just sitting in the seats, not paying him any attention, and they just seemed to be more focused on Nicki Minaj. But for some reason, I wasn't focused on her because I like Chris Brown more. I happened to get out of my seat to go over to him and, just to embrace him, and, because I am a fan of his. And what happened next, when I got in my seat and went over to him, he basically saw me and he kept on dancing. But when I got closer to him, he he saw me, then he started cursing at me, like calling me all kinds of gay slurs, and like, all kinds of evilness he was saying towards me. And I noticed that he was very demon possessed too. Like, it's not the Chris Brown that we normally would see him performing. If you have the gift of spiritual and discernment, you can easily tell when someone who's being possessed and who's not, because a lot of these stars do get possessed while they're performing. But with Chris Brown, it was a different thing. He was like literally possessed, and he had like these fiery red eyes, like demon eyes. Like his eyes were like shot red, basically. And I could tell, okay, this isn't really Chris Brown, or if it really wasn't, but this was more of a demon who was appearing as Chris Brown and stuff like that. So that was another thing the Lord was trying to show me. But for some reason, I kept going closer to him. And he kind of fell to the floor, and he was still cursing me as I got closer to him. For some reason, I stood out of the crowd as I got closer to him, and for some reason, I was irritating him, like I was deterring him, like I was compelling him. Not compelling him, but I was like, I was doing something to him for him to act the way he did towards me. I don't know, for me being a truth seeker, that he saw that. I don't know if it was because that I wasn't being brainwashed. I was set apart from the crowd, basically, because a lot of these people are very possessed when it comes to the artists that they listen to and the artists that they see, but I'm not. Now, I'm not too confined to, artists. I'm not too confined to where I'm always watching their music videos or going to their concerts or anything like that. For me, I'm not really much of a concert person. Honestly, this is like the third concert I ever, let's see, we had the Kanye West concert and a few other people back in 2007. Kanye West was starting to come out and stuff. That was years ago. I haven't been to a concert since then. And I went to the Beyonce concert last year when she was on tour with Jay-Z on the Run tour. And Chris Brown had his concert 5 months ago that I went to. I really wanted to see him because I've been a big fan of his for 10 years, and I'd never seen him before. So I don't know what the Lord was trying to show me, but for some reason, security didn't keep me from reaching Chris Brown, but they were keeping me from reaching Nicki Minaj. So that's a dream that I'm still trying to decipher what the Lord is trying to show me. And amazingly, I was doing some research on Chris Brown, and he was saying that he was having like a little summer tour, and this was for like 2 months, and he's going on tour. He's going on tour with Fatty Wap, and he's going on tour with Omarion and a couple of other people. He's like having like a little short-term summer tour, and it's just amazing what the Lord tries to show me, because he already knew that when I found out this information, that I would want to go see him again in tour, because I love Chris Brown so much. Like, I would want to go see him in tour again. So I think that's the reason why he was showing me the concert with Nicki Minaj, and he was showing me Chris Brown. It's all subliminal, people. That's why it's important, if you have the gift of Daniel, to see visions and dreams, that you pay attention to them, because it's a gift from the Lord, and he's always showing you futuristic things. And I didn't even have no idea that Chris Brown was having another tour, because he just had one 5 months ago, and that lasted for some months. So why all of a sudden is he having another tour for 2 months? So that's basically subliminal what the Lord was showing me, that Chris Brown is going on tour again, and this and this and that and the other. So that's a dream I'm still trying to make out, basically. Moving on, I had a dream about, for a lot of you people who are fans of Selena, not Selena Gomez, but the Selena who was killed back in 1995. I had a dream about her. And the amazing part about that, before I had this dream, for some reason, I had Selena down in my spirit, and I don't know what it was. Like, I wasn't thinking about anything, but for some reason, I was thinking about Selena, the singer Selena, and I was thinking about the movie that Jennifer Lopez did about her back in 1997, which was a very good biopic. Jennifer Lopez did a great job. But I don't understand why I was thinking about this singer Selena, who passed away back in 1995. I love her music, and she was a great artist. And her story is very sad, and it's still a mystery today why, the manager of her fan club would kill her, and it's still some talks in the air. And this person who killed Selena is still in prison, basically. And I believe, from what I hear, that she's supposed to be going back to court for parole in 2025, which is in another 10 years or so. So I don't understand why the Lord was showing me, was putting Selena's spirit down in my spirit. But I was just researching her, and I was watching clips from the Selena movie and her music and stuff like that, and just how beautiful and how talented she was, and how she was about to cross over into the American genre of music, for being a Mexican singer and stuff, and how loved she was. But getting to the point, I had a dream about her the night before. This is around the morning time. I was at this museum, this gigantic museum, basically, and it was just showcasing all of Selena's clothes, all of the jewelry she wore, all of her merchandise and stuff like that. Now, I did some research on that in Corpus Christi, I don't know, I'm saying Corpus Christi, I guess I'm saying it right. In Texas, there is a museum for Selena that opened back in 1998 that her parents did, and it really has all her stuff there. But in this dream, it was a bigger museum. It was like a mall in one sense. It was 2 floors, there was escalators, and there was elevators too. And I was just walking around. There was a whole lot of people. Like, it was so many people everywhere. It was hard to walk. I was on the 2nd floor and just looking at, Selena's stuff, and I couldn't figure out what the Lord was trying to show me. And what happened was, on the other side, it was very vacated. Like, there was some security people over there, and it seemed like people were waiting for someone to come out or something to happen, like a spokesperson or something like that. But for some reason, I felt like I needed to get on the other side of the 2nd level that I was on. And what it was that it was separated, basically. Like, there was no way to get over there. The only way to get over on the other side would be to go back onto the 1st floor to get towards the escalator that'll take you up to the 2nd floor to where that person was. And there was an elevator too, but it was all blocked off by fans. Like, it was really hard to get over there. It was like closed spaces and stuff. And the escalator wasn't even working, so that wasn't even an option. So what I did, I ran as quickly as possible, and I jumped over on the 2nd floor onto the platform onto the other side. Now, mind you, this is like a mall, so if you think about like a mall that's like a 2nd floor, you would see escalators, you would see elevators, and it was like a distant space, disconnected between me and from the other side. But I had ran like I was the Matrix or something, and then I jumped over, and I reached the other side, and I pulled myself over onto the other side. And once I did that, people just started going crazy and crying and, just shouting. And then I looked over my shoulder, and I turned, and I saw Selena come out of nowhere, basically. It was Selena, and she looked amazing, she looked just fine. She had a ponytail. She had like the bang, but I always knew Selena, she had a bang, but it was like very, very thin. She never really had a full bang. And she had the jacket on, this brown jacket on with the white. If you look at my WoW page, and you will see the picture of her, that's exactly the way she had looked. And she had jeans on, and she had heels on, and she had a microphone on, basically. She had a microphone in one of her hands, and she came out. She didn't say anything, and like I was just speechless, like, because this woman is dead. She died like 15 years ago. So I don't understand. And people were just like crying. People were just like shouting her name and stuff. And like, it was a shock to see her. And she would just smile, and she had the most beautiful smile, like she did, when she used to live. And she would just waving at her fans and stuff like that. And for anyone who's a fan of Selena like I am, she was the type of person who loved her fans, who always interacted with her fans. And she was always close to her fans. Like, she could be performing on stage, and fans can run up on stage and would greet her and kiss her, and she would allow it to happen. She wouldn't tell security to keep fans off the stage. She loved her fans. She embraced her fans, and that's why her fans loved her so much. So to see her, just to be waving at her fans, it was just amazing. So, but I understand why was the Lord showing me Selena. Like, it was just amazing. But because just a couple of weeks ago, Selena was down in my spirit. Like, I was thinking about her for some reason. I don't even know why. And then the Lord just showed me a dream of her, and I'm trying not to cry right now, because it's like, her story is just so sad, for someone who was so talented, someone who can sing, someone who can dance. And she was like an angel in one sense, and her life was just taken away in a blink of an eye. And she was about to blow up. I mean, she was like before her time. Like, she would have been the Beyonce that we know of today. She would have been the Aaliyah that we know of today, but in a Mexican, I think it's called Tejane music or whatever. I don't understand the word, but she was going to blow up, and then her life was just taken from her in an instant, because of someone who was jealous, because of someone who was obsessed with her, someone who was embezzling money from her fans, who invested their money into Selena, and they didn't profit from what they were investing in, because the money that the fans were spending on Selena, it was being embezzled by her fan club manager, and she was stealing her fans' money, and that's why there was no trust there. But that's a whole nother topic that I want to get into. I want to get into another dream before I bring this video to a close. I had a dream just this morning, actually. I had woke, and then I went back to sleep, and before I went back to sleep, I was meditating, and I fell back into a sleeping trance, and I was at home. It was daytime, and my auntie came to me, and she told me that she wanted me to go to this place, go outside. There was like this event going on, basically, and one of my roommates, actually, he had went there, and he had came back, and he was telling me about this event too. And he just seemed like he was kind of upset in one sense. He was saying that this event he went to, it seemed very demonic. It seemed like a lot of craziness was going on. But for some reason, my auntie wanted me to go, so I was like, okay, because I'm a person who respects my aunt. So it's kind of like when she asks me to do something, I have no choice to listen to her, because that's the respect I have for her, because she is my godmother, and she's like a second mother to me. So I went to this event. But when I had gotten there, it was just, I noticed that there was a bunch of Freemasons. It was a bunch of people dressed in like white cloaks and stuff like that. It was very demonic looking, and I was just looking around, and I was outside. This was an outside event, and there was like tents, and there was like merchandise being sold, and I was looking at this merchandise. It was a lot of like Baphomet, a lot of demonic merchandise that these people were showcasing. So what I did, I wasn't interested in it, and I went into this this church, a church-like place, like a museum, like this gigantic church. I went inside, and when I went inside, things got a lot crazier. Things got a lot darker. Inside, I saw men dressed in black cloaks and stuff like that, and some of them were wearing masks and stuff like that. What I did, I got inside, and I happened to come across a ritual that was happening. There was a ritual happening because I had seen naked women who had goats for on top of their head. They had like goat heads and stuff, and some of it was basically like mass, basically, and they were all moving and slowly. They were humming, they were chanting. It was kind of like a Catholic church, mass, basically. It was like they were mocking a Catholic church mass, because I've been to Catholic church before, because my auntie, she's Catholic and stuff, and they have like bells ringing, they have like hymns, they have humming, and what they do when they enter inside the church, they walk very slowly to their seats. There's no rushing and stuff, but at the altar I could see like a priest. He was dressed all in black, and I could see naked women. Some of them had goat heads and stuff like that, and on the floor, on the tile, it was like some red markings, like it was formed into like a ritual looking into a ritual looking setup basically, and everyone was getting in place, and I could see that there was a ritual going on, and for some reason I partook in it, and I had sat down, and I had saw like it was this weird looking, it was kind of like a cord, like a human cord, and it was attached to something. I don't know if it was attached to a wall or something like that, but I had seen it. But when I sat down, I was looking at it, and I noticed that it was a camera almost. And what I did, I just started recording what I was seeing. I held the thing up, and it was really sick. What was in that church. It was just all kinds of demonic stuff. It was a bunch of Satanists basically performing a ritual, and women with goat heads and stuff like that. And the goat head symbolizes the Baphomet, basically. The Baphomet. And if you don't know what the Baphomet is, that's a figure that the Knights Templar used to worship. It's basically another figure of Satan. So, and if you people don't know what the Baphomet is, I would encourage you people to research that on your own. So, but to bring this video to a close, I was recording what I was seeing, and there was this man who was partaking in the ritual. He had seen me, and he was asking me, what am I doing? Why am I recording this? I can't see this. You can't show people this and stuff. And he tried to take whatever I had in my hand, that human cord I had in my hand that had a recorder on it. I was recording stuff. He started attacking me, and in that instant, the ritual was basically broken. Like, everyone just started scattering, and like they were like these guards who approached me, and basically they had like weapons. They had like swords and stuff like that. And what happened was that I had stood to my feet basically to confront all of them, and they started attacking me, and I started fighting them back, and I was defending myself. Like, I was taking on 3 different men, and people were like basically hiding, and some people were like kind of like running and stuff like that. I was being attacked, and I was fighting off these people, and I had ran out of that church, wherever I was. I ran into this dark hall, and I left, and I awoke from that dream, and this is from this morning. So that was another crazy dream that the Lord was showing me, basically. And I don't know, but hopefully with me being on this this no meat fast, and with me praying and meditating, it's going to get me closer to the Lord, and He's going to continue to share what's been happening with what's happening out in this world, people. And for what the Lord has shown me, these kinds of things do happen. Rituals do happen. The Boule, the Pandora's box, the Rothschild rituals. This is all real and stuff. And the masquerades and stuff like that. People who are dressed in crazy costumes and all kinds of things. I even had another dream. I'm sorry, I'm going to do this really quick. I got to bring this video to a close. I'm running out of time. I had another dream that I was at this dance hall, and inside the bathrooms there was like people inside the bathrooms who were having orgies. It was heterosexuals, it was homosexuals, it was transgender, it was a bunch of people who were having these wild sex. And I could see what was happening, and I can look through like peepholes and see people having sex, people performing fellatio, people performing oral sex, people performing all kinds of orgies and sexual intercourse. And then there was a man there, he closed one of the holes that I was looking through. It was like a peephole, kind of like an envelope slot where someone delivers a mail to you through your door, and they can like slip it through the mail slot thing in your door. And I was looking through that. I lifted it up, and I was looking, and I could see people were having wild sex, and it was like a ritual sex thing, because orgies is basically a ritual. And then the guy came, and he had closed off what I was looking at, and he told me I can't see that, and then he told me that I need to leave, and I left, basically. So the Lord's just basically showing me Pandora's box, Rothschild. He was showing me sex rituals and stuff like that, and other things. And this is the kind of things that be happening in Hollywood, the kind of sickness that goes on and stuff. But those were the dreams I wanted to share with you people. And like I said, The Lord is for his people. For many of you out there who's trying to get closer to him, he's kicking off dreams from left to right. I say this all the time. And if you have the gift of Daniel, where you can see dreams and visions, that's an amazing thing because the Lord can speak to you through dreams and visions like he does with me. So pay attention, folks. Stay tuned.